and numero uno. Good morning, Internet. The time is 10:01. The date is March 15th on a Tuesday. This is the Catr and Kenard podcast. I'm your host, Chris Kenard, with our beloved jokester and co-host, Mike the Catr Friedman. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. Haven't heard that introduction. That makes my day.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We've got a long day ahead of us and a
How are you,
very
Kenard?
long pod. Who am I? How am I?
I said, how are you?
You're not my therapist. Ha ha ha. No, but for real. I've been
You doing
getting,
good?
I guess so. Like I've been getting sleep. I'm working far too much, but such is life. Listening to a lot of great music, which is what I'd love to talk to you about.
Well, that's what
What are
we
we getting
do on
into?
this show.
Yeah, it sure is. What are we getting into today?
Well, we're starting out a continuation of what I talked about last time. Um, it's my time is being split up into 15-minute segments. We started a little bit late, just 1 minute late, but we're uh, we're doing well. I'm looking. Uh, I, I was looking into continuing something actually for the first 15, something that I talked about last. Actually, it's been a few episodes. But thinking about it today, I don't know if I want to. I think I want to do my whole 30. Um, no, wait. I have 45 minutes. And then we'll get in. I'm going to use my whole 45 to talk about. It's yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my whole 45 for the what we've I've dubbed the my CD project. Um, so I think that's what we're going to do, and then we'll get into the March Catrness, as you've dubbed. Um, so let's get started. Um, so I've got 40, a little bit less than 45. So I last episode, actually, I've mentioned it. I think in other episodes, um, something called my CD project, and it's I use this word. I got to find some synonyms for this word. Is it's just the way it's just the way I listen to music. Um, but I use the word intently. Um, it, where I listen to it intently, it's like I have to hear the whole song. I've used this word too, nuance, every nuance of the song, um, and uh, but it's it's like I I have to go through. I have to listen to CDs that I want to listen to. Um, some I mentioned last episode that there was a CD that I listened to with my family a long time ago on a trip. And it actually, the CD was, I didn't mention this on the last episode, but the CD was Seal. It was his, uh, he had, um, you'll have to back me up on this. You can look into this. But I believe he has two He might have more, and that's where you can look this up. But I know he has at least two self-titled CDs. Um, just and they were to start off his career. Um, but I'm talking about the second one, the second self-titled CD, um, the one with "Kiss from a Rose" on it, and it was kind of like background music in this trip. And plus, I was young; my ears weren't fully developed yet. So I went back on my own and listened to that CD uh, all the way through. Uh, I might have heard little bits of it uh, on that trip, and I might have heard it. Uh, my parents might have played it other times throughout my childhood, teenage years, whatever. But I wanted to listen to that one all the way through. And so I did that. That was one of the CDs, but they're not all the CDs that I want to listen to. It's an ongoing project. It will probably, I don't know. Yeah, it's an ongoing project. So but it's not all CDs that I've heard before. Um, and it's a mix of my stuff, my CDs. It's got my brother's discography, or a collection. Who have I said? Mine, my dad's, my mom's, some of my mom's, and some of my brother's. Mostly mine. And then, yeah, it's like, and the problem is yeah, it's a lot. That's the problem, is I have a lot. But I mentioned in the last episode that it's all in boxes right now. It's and they're in the back of my vehicle, and I don't know how this happened, but they got moisture on them. Like the vehicle, the back was closed. They were just sitting in the back. I don't know how they got moisture on them. So I got to check them out to see if I'll just listen to them as I'm not going to go through and check them all to see if they have any damage to them as part of the CD project, as I'm ready to listen to one. It's like I think I mentioned in an earlier episode. It's like I used to have that's gotten away from me, but I used to have like 6 CDs. Sounds like a tongue twister. 6 CDs, part of a tongue twister, but I used to have like 6 CDs in advance planned out. And like I would listen to a CD, and then I had the next 6 planned out. And like I can't explain it to you, but I can picture it in my mind what it looks like. I guess it kind of looks like yeah, it's I can't explain it. It would be too. It's just I can't explain it to you, but I can visualize what that looks like. That's weird. I know it's weird, but anyway, I just can't explain it. But I would have the next CDs, but then uh, I've gotten away from that, um, and I haven't I I don't know why, but I like listening to CDs in vehicles. Can't do that right now. My vehicle that I have, the CD player is broken. Um, so that's a little bit of a problem. Um, so I can't really listen to a CD anymore. Um, so yeah, that's where I am right now. But like I said, I don't know how they got moisture in them. There was no rain. Uh, if it was raining, the vehicle was the back was closed. Um, but I have a lot of CDs, and I don't. I hope that people understood this. I do. I love streaming, um, but I'm going to quote from something that I read. You would have to pry CDs away from my cold, dead hands. I still like CDs. Um, I wanted to make sure that listeners knew this, but I still like CDs. Um, so, yeah, that's where uh, that's part of what I wanted to talk about with the project. Just make sure people knew that even though I like streaming, I still like CDs. If I had to pick which one I like better, I don't know. But I still want people to know that I like CDs. Um, yeah, Seal. Like I said, I listened to that one all the way through. Um, I don't know when this started, this project. I think it's been a while, um, and I do like streaming. I discovered that a couple of years ago, uh, and I listened to music on the way home from work, on the way to work, and on the way home from work, and it's fun. And yeah, that's that's part of what I wanted to say about the CD project. And I uh, I buy. I don't want people to think I'm cheap, but I buy CDs from thrift stores, um, and it's not something I've been doing all my life. I uh, I would only buy new stuff. I think partially because if I bought a used CD, I guess I thought there's a possibility that there might be skips in the CDs. So I started probably incorporating used CDs into my collection, like I really made sure, because I every now and then I would buy something from a yard sale, I think. Uh, but then I really started to make sure that I also bought used CDs, like 2016, maybe 15, um, and there are CDs that I have. I don't know if they're going to work. Uh, so when they come into my project, I'll find out if they skip or not. Um, so uh, yeah, I buy used CDs now, and that's it's like I said, it's my stuff. Uh, Mostly, but it's not everything. There's some things that I don't want to listen to of
Like
mine.
what?
Um, well, I mean, there are CDs. There's an artist. It's like a early 2000s artist, and it's it's like one of my very first CDs that I remember. Like I've heard music artists talk about like the very first album they bought, the very first CD. This is I can't remember. Like I can't remember. An artist might say, "I remember taking my allowance that my parents gave me and buying my first record." They remember their first concert. I don't even I know of my first concert, but I don't remember it. I was too young. Um, and but like the first CD that I ever bought with my own money, I don't remember. You might remember uh, your first CD, but I
I
don't
do
remember.
actually, yeah.
Yeah. What was your first CD?
Now as far as the times table is concerned, well, it's like all right. This is kind of it's not complicated, but like my memory's kind of like mixed up. It's like
Yeah.
there are at least three albums, and I've all bought them at various times. But the difference is that one I bought digitally, right, and then like the other two I bought physically. But I'm not sure whether I bought them together or not. So I say all three. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
Like my first digital purchase that I made for music was Discovery by Daft Punk. It's a perfect album. That's all I'll say about that. But like physically, I went to a thrift store with my mom. We do a lot of that. And I happened upon the first John Mayer album, Room for Squares, and Absolution by Muse. And they changed my world forever. And I'm very thankful to those albums.
Yeah. I um, I remember buying. Uh, yeah, I really don't remember where my first CD was that I bought. Uh, so if you asked me that, I wouldn't be able to answer that. But I've I I continue to do this project. I've thought about reworking the project. I told you what last year maybe. I was I was thinking about just dropping the project. Uh, but then I thought about reworking the rules for the project. Um, I so it's still I'm not sure what to do right now. Like I said, I have a non-working CD player in my vehicle, um, so haven't really listened to CDs. I don't even listen to my iPod right now. I just listen to the streaming, uh, and it's really awesome. It's kind of helped me throughout since I've listened to streaming. Um, with Apple Music, and never done any of the other streaming services. I just use Apple Music. So I don't even look at iTunes very much on my computer.
Oh wow, you really have changed since we started the show.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really. I looked at iTunes yesterday. Um, I have iTunes up today because this is your idea that we tried last year, the Catrness. I am going to read about an artist, a short biography. This is not about Springsteen, about Bob Dylan. Those are long biographies on iTunes. This is a very short, several sentences, one little paragraph. So I have that up. But besides that, yeah, I've changed. I'd like to get back to iTunes, using iTunes. And when I go back, I would only use my iPod when I walked. But I mean, occasionally I'll walk around the house with the iPod on. Yeah, I was going to talk, the one subject I was going to talk about, but I'll save it for another time, is the ongoing iTunes issue. The problem that I had, yes, I said had, the problem I had with iTunes was I would buy an album and I wanted to put it on a CD.
Is this that whole Black Crows issue you had a while back?
Yeah, but it's been with other albums too. And I would put them on a playlist, and I would be burning CDs, and not every song showed up. So I realized that there was that thing. I'm blanking on the word. Let me see here. It's where it's authorization. And the songs weren't authorized, but I bought it. Why is it not authorized? And that's why they weren't showing up. So if you delete the songs and then just the ones that are not authorized, because even if I put the username and password in, it still would not play. It would still bring up that box again to put your username and password in. And then I would put it in. So anyway, I would delete only the problem songs. That's what I'll call them. That eventually, but I never had to do that. And when I first got my iPod, 20 years ago, I don't remember. That's when I first used iTunes. And when I first started buying digital albums, or started making digital albums, I never had to do that. So it's an ongoing issue, and that that's what I was going to talk about for some time, but I decided I'll just talk about the CD project. And I'll talk about the CD project again next episode, and I'll probably talk about it some more in another episode and whatever. So, but I'll fill you guys in on the iTunes issue in a future episode. But I decided not to talk about it today. Just talk about the CD project. And no, I don't want to listen to the first self-titled Seal album. I've thought about it, but I just the one that I listened to, and then I kind of say, that's it for Seal. I've listened to what I've wanted to listen to for Seal, and there I have in my head albums that I want to get. I can't think of a better title, so I just call it CDs that I want to get. But pretty much since like 2015, 2016, I have not added any CDs to that list. And so the CDs that I want to get are ones that I thought about prior to 2015, 2016. Occasionally I'll think of a CD that I want to get and add it to that list. And when I go into a thrift store, a record store, any place that carries CDs, sometimes I go astray. I kind of don't like it. I only really want to buy CDs that are ones that I want to buy. But not occasionally. A lot of times I go in and buy stuff that's not on my list. But it is what it is. And that's what I usually buy nowadays. Is I occasionally I can tick something off my list. That's the right word, tick. Check off my list a CD. But yeah, I know you have your CDs in boxes too, correct?
Technically, I have every CD that I own in a bag in a container right next to me.
And how many are we talking?
Too many to count, honestly.
That's a high number. And so we got about 15 more minutes here. Talk about my CD project, and then we'll move on to the Catr.
If I can cut in just for a few questions, actually.
Okay.
I love to circle you back around to like artists you're not interested in including in your project. And I'd like to know what's just like what's like just the overall goal of the project. Will the project ever be complete? How are you gonna like, because we've seen how you started like throughout the show. It's been something you brought up since like episode 1, but like what's the end goal, would you say?
Because I'm going to continually add stuff, so I don't know if it'll ever end. I would love to finish the CDs, finish the ones that I want to listen to, and I don't know if it's obvious, but I want to get the ones that I have in my head. Yeah, I have. I got from you, my friend, the kind of blue from Miles Davis, but that wasn't everything that I wanted from Miles Davis. And I mentioned this, um, bringing his discography up on iTunes. I mentioned this like 2 episodes. Kind of Blue was one of the CDs, but I also wanted to listen to. Um, there's I think a live album from Miles Davis. Um, and I could visually picture what the album looks like. Um, and I thought there was a third one, and I just can't remember what the third one is. I'd have to look, and I have them up. And the way iTunes does it for certain artists, um, their page. What I do, by the way, and this is just the way I do it. I'll type in Miles Davis in iTunes up at the right, and then down on the left hand corner, it says all albums, songs, music videos, audiobooks, podcasts, and movies. Below that, it says artists and more. And it has sometimes if there's somebody else that the name sound maybe like it's not showing this. Well, it says the last one says Miles Davis NONET. I have no idea what nonet means. No net. There's Miles Davis All Stars. I'm reading from the bottom up. Miles Davis No Net, Miles Davis All Stars, Miles Davis Quartet, Miles Davis Quintet, and Miles Davis. I usually click on the top one. Sometimes there are other artists that I thought that's a legal issue. You can't have the same name. Um, so, but I thought I've seen other artists with the same name. Um, Other examples, not Miles Davis. But anyway, I usually click the top one under Artist and More. So I'm clicking Miles Davis. And like I said, I'm clicking okay, here. And like if you take like a one-hit wonder artist, his page, that person's page, they're not going to have a photo for that artist. Sorry about the background noise. There is they're not going to have the way the Miles Davis page looks because Miles Davis is an established artist. He's considered an icon in jazz. So I'll explain what his page looks like. Only icons, famous artists, basically have these kind of pages. It says new album. There's recent releases. I don't think iTunes has done it this way from the very beginning. But new album, recent releases. Then there's collections. And I kind of don't like this setup of their artist pages. I'd rather look at a one-hit wonders page. Under collections, there's albums mastered for iTunes. There's deluxe editions. There's the early years. There's the first great quintet, sextet, and more. The second great quintet with Gil Evans, who I thought was on into Kind of Blue, but it apparently not. Gil Evans only was on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I actually found the album, one of the other albums. It's under the 70s plus Electric Miles. And the name of that CD is, part of the title's cut off. I'd have to hit see all. Live at the Fillmore East, March 7th, 1970. And then there was like a third one that I wanted. It's not Bitches Brew and it's not Sketches of Spain. I know those are. It seems to me like when you think of Miles Davis, you think of Kind of Blue, then you think of Sketches of Spain, and you think of Bitches Brew. I think one that's also under the 70s plus Electric Miles called A Tribute to Jack Johnson, who was a famous boxer. And I actually think that's what it is. He did a tribute to the boxing. Because I think there's an artist, I'm not talking about the laid back 90s, 2000 artist, Jack Johnson. Let me see. Yeah. No, wait, hold on. 2 track I'm reading about has John McLaughlin, Chick Corea. Chick Corea was in a fusion group called Weather Report. He was in the Jack Johnson. I thought it was about the boxer. I really did. I could be wrong. But anyway, when you think of Miles Davis, besides Kind of Blue, I thought you thought of Sketches of Spain, Bitches Brew, and A Tribute to Jack Johnson. That's, if I remember correctly, A Tribute to Jack Johnson is like really early Miles Davis. But continuing down the page, after the 70s plus Electric Miles, there's Miles Returns, 80s plus 90s. Did not know he did music in the 90s. And there's actually one called Miles and Quincy, which I'm assuming is Quincy Jones, live at Montreux. After Miles Returns, there's more music. Then there's books, music videos, movies, podcasts, songs. So sometimes some artists, I think guy that I recommended a song to you recently, my mom and I, Billy Joel. If you go into Billy Joel's page, so to answer your question, it's probably an ongoing one. Project.
Lifelong mission, you'd say, maybe?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But if I would say that for right now. I thought sometimes they'll say, it's not on Billy Joel, but sometimes it will say on an established icon artist, one of the sections will say like a certain year to a certain year, like, but it's not on that. So I'll have to go back through Miles Davis things, and I know iTunes is not I forgot that expression, be all.
End all be all.
That's it, my friend. Source. There's an artist that's on iTunes that I was looking at close to 10 years ago. And I happened to go on Amazon. And this is the only example that I know that it's not that expression. And I happened to look on Amazon and I saw some CDs that weren't on iTunes for that artist. And so it's just the only one I really kind of know. I've explored and I've talked about this very early on about a website called Disc Discogs, which I know is short for discography. I've looked into that. I I've bought music, bought physical CDs from Amazon. I used to buy Amazon, Best Buy online when they used to have CDs. I don't own any albums, um, but now Best Buy is exclusively just records, vinyl. Um, so I got 3 more minutes. So I and you can't buy physical CDs from iTunes. I buy either digital albums or songs, individual songs. I've never had that issue with the. It could be an issue, but I don't know of an issue with individual songs of the that word again authorization. It's only been with albums. It's like I have proof. I have proof that I bought it. I know that I bought it. I was there when I bought it. Um, my face was looking at the screen when I bought it, whatever. So I don't know why that's all of a sudden, it's not all of a sudden, but why that's happened. It's been like the last 6 years, 5 years. And so the ongoing issue, and one day I'll have that resolved. And another ongoing thing is my CD project. So yes, that's an ongoing thing. I guess it should be an ongoing thing if music is my number one favorite thing in the world. Uh, and I talked about, I got 2 more minutes here. So I talked about, actually 3 more minutes because we started 1 minute late. But anyway, since I talked about music careers, I I can't play any instruments. I'm not talking about that. Um, I music. I like listening to music. So something I don't know, but like I said, if I can get an aptitude test, and I know you've sent me some, so if I take an aptitude test, maybe that will help me out. But yeah, we'll continue probably continue the. We had a CD article that we were going to read, um, but that didn't happen. So maybe save that for next episode, um, and we'll talk about the CD project. Um, we have episode coming up next month. Well, a short episode where you and I are going to talk about songs that we listen to that your mom, you and your mom recommended for me and my mom and I, and the song that you had recommended, Knocks Me Off My Feet by Stevie Wonder, and my camp recommended The Stranger by Billy Joel. So we have that coming up, and yeah, I can't wait to. I like talking about my CD project, um, and I can't wait to talk about it next episode and beyond.
Well, I'll tell you something that I can't wait to defeat you in March Catrness. But before we get started, I just wanted to um, contribute to a few things you said over the episode. I too have my issues with iTunes. A friend was kind enough to give me a gift card, so I used some of that money on the gift card to pre-order an album that I really wanted. And when the album went live all over the world, I never got it, and I never got that resolved, which really annoyed me. I've gotten over it since then, but it's like I really wanted to listen to the album and own it for myself, but these sort of like issues take place in the digital marketplace of music. And I also want to make clear to our audience that we will probably come back to y'all in the next month because my work schedule is like really dense and I don't think I can make any more time to record this particular show until April. So thank you for your continued support. We'll be back as soon as possible, and we like making the show. And one of those reasons is this, I guess, now annual tradition of March Catrness. Some people love basketball and others listen to music like me and Michael. So we're going to compete with songs. We've chosen 6 for you today. We're going to decide a winner for this tournament in this episode. We're not going to do like 3 episodes like we did last time. We've got places to be and people to see. In the left corner, we have Team Catr with the songs that include but are not limited to Popcorn by Hot Butter, Ordinary World by Duran Duran, and Roll On Down the Highway by Bachman Turner Overdrive. Meanwhile, in the other corner, Team Kenard includes but is not limited to All You Need Is Now by Duran Duran, It Gets Funkier 4 by Wolfbeck, and Space Truckin' by Deep Purple. I am happy to welcome our most consistent listener, Living Abstraction, aka Lore, aka Arc Intel, who will serve as the tide turner, if you will. Like Catr and I feel very strongly about the songs we've selected. So if there is a chance where, well, sure, I guess so. But if there comes a point in like the debate where we will not concede to one another, we will have to ask our beloved listener who delivered the more compelling point of view in regards to the music, both for and against. Hello, my friend. Thank you for always listening. I think I woke him up with a text like saying, yo, we're live right now, which is super random. We usually don't do this so early, usually like in the early afternoon. But so, like the show must go on, as Freddie Mercury once said, rest in peace. Round 1 is Hot Butter versus Wolfbeck. Popcorn versus It Gets Funkier 4. Oh, and one more thing, which I failed to mention to you, Mr. Friedman. A nonette is a 9-person group of people.
Jay.
So it makes sense to be like a nonette for a while, since he's always bringing in like the best of the best, or chords, super cool stuff. So I thought I'd bring that up, and I will be more than happy to send you some links in regards to moisture damage for CDs. And off air, I'd love to talk to you about your broken CD player, so I can somehow see if we can get that repaired for you someday, somehow. But more on that after the competition, after I smash you to smithereens. Are you ready?
Well, it's got my name in it, so I think it's your name's not in it, so I think it's gonna be a butt whooping on my part. But we'll find that out after. Yeah, I'm ready. I am ready.
Let's get started. Would you like to start?
I think I fell off my chair because I was on the edge of my seat. So Hot Butter. Which song do we want to start with?
Round 1 is Popcorn versus It Gets Funkier.
I listened to your songs. Crap. No. If we're talking about the Hot Butter, and I'm looking for. I am stuck right now. Hold 1 minute. Got the Hot Butter, and what's the other one? Wolfbeck. Okay. And you know what? It was good. Yours was. But I definitely go with mine.
Why is that?
Because I only choose good songs.
So what? All right, but what makes Popcorn by Hot Butter a better song, or even a good song in the first place?
Yeah, I just was never. I was not familiar with Wolfbeck song. and uh, it just didn't do anything for me. It was, I mean, it was a funky song, Volpec. Um, it didn't do anything for me, man. It didn't raise my blood level. It didn't do anything for me.
So what does popcorn by hot butter do for you that it gets funkier does not?
It's just like kitschy. It's campy, cheesy, but it's good. Um, it just puts me in a good mood.
Is that all? Because I'm ready to like dig my flesh into you. Well, dig my teeth into you. That is. There we go.
Yeah, I won't need any band-aids or anything, but go ahead.
All right, folks. So, if you will, like, close your eyes so I can take you to the theater of your mind. We have Popcorn, arguably the first ever electronic song ever made. Much like my co-host here has described to you, it's very just like it's a bit of an oddball in like the great musical galaxy. But it's cute, you know what I'm saying? Like it's very one might even say avant-garde. However, in the
No, I
case
would not say that.
you would not say avant-garde. Well, I most certainly do. Like there was never a song like this prior to its release in like the like late 60s, early 70s. And like the genre of electronic has come like strides since then. And almost one I would if I was being a little bit if I was being a little bit bold, it leaves one would say that like popcorn leaves something to be desired. Like like the composers of yesteryear, they used what they had to make compelling music.
I thought you
And
were going to dig into me here.
Listen, I'm not through with you yet. Just you wait, sir. The reason why I would select It Gets Funkier 4 over Popcorn is that it's for that very reason of there's so much more going on in the song. You have not only do I have the advantage of a very entertaining music video. You also have the great Lewis Cole on drums, famously known for his own music and for the pop duo Nowhere.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of Nowhere before? Well, that's only my own fault. And I'll make sure to remedy that in the coming future because
I've never heard of Lewis Cole either.
And that's a damn shame because he's one of the greats. Like his music history will remember his contributions to music because he's fantastic. A spectacular drummer. We have like Joe Dart on bass, who's often in like all the comment sections of like the new leaders of just like people who are just like taking the bass to the next level in funk, in jazz, in pop. Wolfbeck have been on like the Stephen Colbert show, you know what I'm saying? And I can't say the same for Hot Butter. Granted, like Hot Butter was like founded by one of like the first like pioneers of the Moog. And like I'm sure a lot of people who love Wolfbeck also love Moog and what they've done for music over the years. But like I'll conclude by saying we wouldn't have It Gets Funkier 4 without Popcorn. But I promise you that It Gets Funkier 4 will tickle your fancy more than a Popcorn. Furthermore, Popcorn isn't a very filling meal, so there's that as well. You can go farther on funk than you can on Popcorn. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, you didn't really dig into me, and I will say, I don't think they're even really close to the genres. They're both instrumental. I'll give you that, but I'll just I will concede to you. We'll say you won that round.
All right, then I guess Wolfpack advances, and we will begin round 2, which is let's do the Durans. Let's get that out of the way, shall we?
Yeah, that's
The
what I
old
thought.
versus the new. This is going to be a little more difficult. I'm not going to lie. We have Ordinary World versus All You Need Is Now, both by Duran Duran. Mr.
Yeah, I'm
Catr,
not going to concede to you easily
oh
on
yeah,
that.
okay. Well, please begin.
Well, uh, my song recently, um, sometime this year, made me emotional. So you have to, on that note, you have to give in and say that that's moving on because uh, yeah, I that song is good. Um, I did like the chorus of your song, but mine's at another level, I guess. Um, I um, it's their return after their '80s period, um, and it's from. Oh, I forgot to mention about. Go. Can I go back to the first round real quick?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I'll mention it in another episode. I'll make damn sure I do that. It has nothing to do about. We already chose the winner, but I'll talk about that in another episode. Anyway, yeah, I they like I said, they returned in the '90s, so and they're not real known as a '90s group, uh, but um, they did have a hit with "Ordinary World," which is from the. It's called Duran Duran, and then parentheses the Wedding album, and I don't. They really amped the song up. Probably a minute 30 to the end of the song. Um, and the singing is great. Um, um, I don't know. That's all I have to say for that.
So you are relying on your pathos to carry the argument forward.
Look up the word pathos for me.
You're relying on like you're relying on like your emotional attachment to the song to like
Yes.
compel yourself to victory, huh?
I, I want you to feel for me for my emotional, yes, aspect.
Well, as a person who's just like very just like drawn to songs that like bring such emotions forward, I what's the word? I empathize with you, but I cannot show you mercy, and here's why. Ordinary World is a classic. It's one of the best pop songs ever written. That cannot be argued.
All right. On to
But
round
here's the
three.
thing, and I'll leave. Say what now? I cut you off.
I said on to round three.
Oh no, we're not. It's not over yet, sir. I empathize with you, but I shall not give in, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, unfortunately for people like myself and Mr. Catr here, Ordinary World is a song often played in big box stores. So even when you hear such a fantastic composition, it gets a little bit old, like having to hear it every day, every other hour. I'll even like mention that once I went to karaoke some years back with some coworkers of mine, and one of my favorite people at the store sang the crap out of this song. It's like, wow, like this person's such a wonderful singer, and like, wow, like you really appreciate like the hard work and blood, sweat, and tears that went into this song. However, it's a song I have to hear every day, which
Well, take
loses
a
its
take a
luster
day
for me.
vacation from your job.
Oh, I take consistent paid vacations, and whenever I come back, Ordinary World is right there with me. And it's like, gosh darn it, like certain songs should only be played once in a 24-hour span and not 4 or 5.
I
So
can't
like,
control your music station at your work.
certainly not. But it just like it wears thin on my patience having to hear it so often. However, All You Need Is Now, I never would have even heard the song had it not been for just one of the local like MTV knockoffs in my hometown that played this for me. Because to be honest with you, besides like Notorious, I don't really care for a Duran Duran. The Reflex is a good song. Like I could say that I don't like Hunger Like the Wolf at all, but just like this particular song, it's like it's cool to see like a well-established act just like strike out one last time to see if the magic is still there, and that's what All You Need Is Now gives to me personally.
I'd never heard of this song.
You never heard this song prior to this competition.
Nope.
Yeah, and like maybe that serves to my disadvantage, but like I can't my foolhardiness will not allow me to like to let go of the potential victory. So
That's what Ramade say.
Living Abstraction, are you out there? Is there any way you can turn the tide for either of us? What is your judgment?
Yeah, what do you think? Ordinary
'Cause,
World, or what is your song? What is your crap song?
Wow, All You Need Is Now. So spicy, so rude. So while we're waiting for
turn it up, put on the boxing gloves.
Listen, all right.
Like
So
Jack Johnson, I'm the Jack Johnson.
Okay, so according to the live counter, we have an hour in 1 minute like locked in. We have about maybe 29 minutes left. If it takes some longer than these next two, I have the coin flip app and another one of these tabs, and I will flip it, and we will give the victory to whoever has the presiding side of the coin.
From Living Abstraction.
Well, like we know that like he's still on the stream, but like I don't see like the little bubbling. Yeah, well, yeah, of course he's here with us. So like, if it takes longer than 2 minutes, like we'll have to move on for now. But if it comes up later, I will concede to his course correction. We still have a whole outro to do.
What do you choose, Aramade?
Choose. You have exactly 60 seconds. No pressure. So just in case he can't. Oh my goodness. Yes, sir.
Okay. I will never talk to you guys again.
Damn. Don't be like that, yo.
So 2 out of 3 now.
Okay, so both
So you won the dang thing.
Now we still have to come to a conclusion together about what the best song of the 6th is, because like yeah, these two moved up, but we still have 2 more.
Yeah, you're going against my version, other versions of my songs, right?
That's what we were going to do, but now, we since we just like did away with all that. It's if we have to dang, I guess it's like I kind of like all right. Here's what I think what we'll do. Because like I don't see the problem. We should have we should have had a bigger pool of songs. We won't have this problem next year. It'll be better next year. Okay. Because now I see that like it is kind of stilted towards my bracket. Because what I really like to do.
Planning on winning?
No, it's like I want to balance the budget a little bit. Let's see here. I will let's see. Because like the last two are like rolling down the highway and space trucking.
Hey, Aramade, I'm interested. What would you say for the first round?
Yeah, like now that you do mention it, like how did you oh, thanks. That's so kind. No, but like in between It Gets Funkier 4 and Popcorn.
Love Catr.
Like which do you prefer, Abstraction? What speaks to you more if like based on our descriptions?
Hot butter.
And while you muse on that, we can go head to head versus BTO and DP. Mr. Catr, tell us about Bachman Turner Overdrive and why you chose this song in particular.
Well, I want to talk about actually DP real quick.
Okay.
Because as far as the CD project, ever heard of that? I did some research, and by the way, we are going to recommend songs for each other that's not part of this project. That is not part of this basketball tournament. And I really thought my songs were slam dunks. Ha 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 ha. But
Heh.
anyway, uh, I did research into Deep Purple, um, because I wanted to see what are the CDs that I should listen to from Deep Purple, because they're right up there with. Uh, I mean, they kind of. I'm going to ask a question for you,
Okay.
Kenard. Aren't they considered one of the fathers, one of the leaders of heavy metal?
No. I would say for me personally, I see Deep Purple more as like a classic rock staple more than anything else.
But anyway, I thought they were right up there with like Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, um, and but they are the lesser of those three of the three. Um, and I never got into Deep Purple. Um, I had never heard the song Space Truckin'. I was familiar with it, but I had never. I might have heard little snippets, little clippets. um, but and like I was when I did the research, it it wasn't really like conclusive, but the some I think there was like there was the album Maiden's Deep Purple and Rock. Um, there was I think maybe Made in Japan. Um, and I think those were the two. And so, but it wasn't like overwhelming, so I never purchased either digitally or physically those albums. So I never got into Deep Purple. Um, and uh, if we're trash talking in this episode, I'm going to trash talk the episode, the another Deep Purple so-called air quotes here, so-called classic Smoke in the Water doesn't. Oh, Machine Head's another one uh, that's supposed to be something and supposed to be a classic, so-called classic air quotes again. Um, is Smoke on the Water doesn't really do anything for me. All these musicians say, "Oh, that's like one of the first riffs that I learned to play on the guitar." Bow, 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 bow. No, that doesn't do anything for me. Um, so if there, I mean, if I am gonna trash talk you on the other side, I'll say, I guess if I was to say there was a song that I liked, I guess would be early song from Deep Purple, Hush. But um, nothing really. My Woman from Tokyo, I guess, is an okay song. Highway Star, nothing. Space Truckin' is nothing. Um,
Hold on. Wait 1 minute. Why exactly is Space Truckin' not doing nothing for you?
I I've never really actually listened to it all the way through, but what
Oh
I
no. Wait a
no no
dang
hold on,
minute.
you're interrupting me, sir. Even though we've thrown out the rule book for politeness, but what I've heard didn't do anything for me, and I heard that's like a driving song, not literally. It's a driving song. The rhythm is driving, whatever. No, it's a song you listen to while you're driving. That didn't really do anything to warrant a further listen to it. And I heard a honk in the background. Uh, but anyway, speaking of driving, so no, I've never really got into Deep Purple. Um, Nothing was conclusive, and I don't think since I when I did the research and I wasn't convinced. I'm not opening that door again to prod a little bit more into their research, but no. So nope. I there wasn't really anything good to say about your song. Um, I don't know how I'm going to stand up for my song. uh, am I going to give you the win? Might as
Listen,
well. You've already won two. But has Living Abstraction said anything about our instrumental songs?
actually, yeah, it most certainly has.
And you didn't interrupt to tell me this. What is it? What's the news?
Between popcorn and it gets funkier, I side more with the latter.
Yay!
That's me, by the way.
Oh, the latter. Duh.
ah,
Fine. Why don't you just win the dang thing?
Listen, cause you're really getting those punches in, but then like your whole strategy falls flat if you didn't even finish the song in the first place.
What do you
do
mean?
your opponent that much
I listened to your song.
You say you didn't get through the whole thing.
Oh, before when I used to hear about that song.
So just for clarification's sake, you got through the entirety of Space Truckin' and it did nothing for you emotionally.
Maybe the organ was okay. Yeah, none of your songs. If any of your songs did anything for me, it was the chorus of the Duran Duran, and the first song was okay. Each three songs, the things that did something for me. Your first song, it was kind of upbeat. It was, but it didn't have a hook. That's what I'm looking for. I've said that before in episodes. I look for the hook. Isn't that why people like music? And then your second crap song, was the chorus. The chorus was okay. Now, am I walking around humming these songs that you decided to throw at me, like flinging poo?
Wow.
They're crap. No.
Wow.
Am I walking around at my job humming these songs? No, they're not memorable. But the first song, it was funky, I guess. The second song, the chorus, and the third song, Space Truckin'. Is that what the song, or Highway Star, whatever? I don't remember.
Wow.
I guess the organ, and that's what Deep Purple is kind of known for, is their organ, right?
Yes. I would like to begin my rebuttal, if you will, just for a moment, of your time.
Question: was that John Lord?
I don't know that. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know a single member of this band. Not going to front.
Really? Didn't do your research, huh?
Listen, the focus was the song for me. All right. There are a lot of people in a lot of bands. I don't know everyone's name. Okay. I got limited brain space.
Okay.
So hear you me.
Well, that's my job to remember all that.
So hear you me. It's like BTO. It's not really a band that I'm familiar with. Everyone knows Taking Care of Business because again, hear that on the radio all over the place in big box stores. I know Office Depot appropriated it for a commercial, and so I have a very fond attachment to that song. But rolling down the highway,
and hold on. What about You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet?
I've never heard that song before.
And you still have it?
I have not. No.
Wow, where have you been living?
Hey, you know me. Hey, if this show has taught you anything, you know my focus is more on the new school than the old school. And so I put on Rolling Down the Highway. To be honest with you, I think the song's a little long, and it doesn't really it didn't really demand a second listen for me, much like you felt the way about Space Truckin'. But I feel at least with Space Truckin', it had that driving guitar part and those soaring vocals and that really awesome just like drum back half. Like it was really fast and like when I was like when I was like building like the idea of this this version of March Catrness, I'm listening to live cuts of these songs, and you can see that the long term was kinder to Deep Purple than it was to BTO. And that's not really like significant in this way, but like just when I was trying to find like the perfect like live version of Space Truckin', the first thing that came up was a 10-minute version of the song, like in the height of their popularity, and folks are like clapping and stuff and being loud and stuff like that. And I'm like, that really speaks to the testament of like how much of an impact they had on like the scene when they took off. And I think that the fact that like they would still play the song in their old age at the intensity of like their younger selves speaks to the quality of the composition. And not for nothing, like Rolling Down the Highway, it's more laid back, and like it still has its place in like in the landscape of rock and roll, because a lot of people in this country drive for a living, and I'm sure they're listening to stuff like this to keep them motivated. But I am being the nerd that I am, I have my eyes to the stars, and I know that if I was on a spaceship, I'm banging out some space trucking, and that's all I have to say about that.
Can I get one song? Come on, Aramide, help us out.
You know what? I will be kind. I will be kind and concede I will concede to BTO. However, that's still
just call the whole thing the Kenard classic, okay?
Dang. Like I wanted because like the joke of the whole thing is like March Madness, and I'm like, what's the closest thing? Because like March Canardness doesn't really like roll off the tongue, but like March Catrness, like at least if I don't know, like I feel
what
like
you're saying is not rolling off the tongue.
Oh, hush! Dang it!
Oh, you're talking about the Deep Purple song.
Listen here, cuz. The time is.
Can I bring some smoke on the water, please?
You know what? That's enough. That's quite enough out of you. It's over. I'm calling it right now.
Turn off my mic.
No, don't do that. 2-1 though. I will.
You can't turn off my mic.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I can, but I won't do it. My finger's always on the pulse. Don't you ever worry about that, my friend.
I can close tabs.
Please don't do that. I want you to stay. We have about 13 minutes left on the show here. That concludes this volume of March Catrness. I don't even remember who won last year. It's been so long. I want to do it again next year because it was fun. We had fun, right?
I'm a sore loser.
Hey, use that to build a better strategy and bracket for next season. That's all I have to say about that. Use this victory to fuel your animosity towards me. No, but for real.
You're not funny.
I'm not funny. Okay. We, like everyone's got an opinion. No, let's wrap things up. We've got places to be. I haven't even brushed my teeth this morning. Oof. I hope you don't have smell-o-vision. Yeah. You're welcome there, friends. And yes, like our most faithful listener, it has been fun. Thank you, sir. We do it for people like you.
But yeah, Living Attraction said, yeah, it's been fun. But what does he say about the classic rock battle?
Yeah, Abstraction, as me and Catr are wrapping up the show, please tell us
before the episode ends.
Yes, please. While we're still live,
DP or BTO.
Please drop in your 2 cents on which classic rock song.
Clean sweep, and now we are going to recommend each other songs to talk about for next episode.
Yeah, what he said. You go first.
Well, actually, it will be after the Mother's Day episode, right?
It depends. It depends on
later.
Yeah, it depends on what my job has in store for me in the coming month. I already have like the end of March booked, but
all right, so
based on what's available for the two of us.
From the group The Hollies.
The Hollies. Let me look them up. I don't think I've heard of them before. Tell me about the Hollies.
Where are you living?
Remember, in the new school.
The song is called "He Ain't Heavy," "He's My Brother."
Oh, this song. I've heard about this song.
But you haven't heard it before.
Nope.
And it's from an album called Greatest Hits.
Where is this song from? They have a lot of albums though. A lot. Wow. They've been together since the 60s, 64. Wow. So why'd you choose this song? Is I think I have an idea, but like tell me why you chose this one in particular.
I haven't heard it in a while, but if I'm trying to hear it in my brain right now, I don't know. It's a slow song. I guess it's a good song to walk to, maybe.
I thought you were trying to say that like, we're family because that would be very sweet.
After this episode, after this last segment, just kidding.
Damn, that's all it takes, huh? Or
Yeah,
friends like these, right?
sure, because we're
Oh
family.
heck. Oh, that's so sweet. He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
What's your
Who wrote
song,
this
man?
song? Well, I don't know if you knew, but March is Women's History Month. And so I had an idea of like plugging a local artist that just dropped a new project, but I honestly gave him a shout out during the last Oramide stream. So I'm going to pick a new school lady band that I love called Meet Me at the Altar, signed to Fueled by Ramen. Um, and I'm recommending the song Garden, the acoustic version though, because I know you like acoustic music, right?
Um, Not really.
Not really. All right, then.
Sort
Then
of.
if that's the case,
No,
ignore
give
that.
it to
Then
me.
no. I will ignore what I said. I'll still recommend that song, but I'll just recommend the original composition that's more upbeat and rock and roll instead.
I sort of do.
Nah, I don't like sorta. I know for a fact that you enjoy rock, so I'll just do like the regular version. Plus, I want more eyes on that version of the song anyway because it's been up for a little while and it still hasn't cracked 1 million views on YouTube, and I'm annoyed by that personally.
Okay.
So that's
Well,
that. You know what I'm saying? I want to like the whole last like stream with abstraction was about how much great like black rock is out there, but it's not getting like the eyes and ears that it deserves. And so I might as well start here with my beloved co-host, the Catr.
that's me.
That's you.
Is he saying anything, Abstraction? We still have.
No comments yet. So hopefully in the next 7 minutes, sir,
Yes.
no pressure.
No pressure.
Choose.
Hint, hint.
Um,
Wink, wink.
is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience before we like wrap things up?
Well, today's Tuesday.
That means
Um,
the club's going up.
the what?
The club is going up on a Tuesday.
Oh, it is. Not familiar with that, but anything I want to say? Well, thanks for. Uh, I'll talk a little bit about the Hollies. Actually, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk because I didn't do that. Because I wanted to informative. If bear with me,
Mm-hmm.
hot butter. Hot butter. What this is what iTunes says. Um, Hot butter wasn't so much a group as an alias for keyboard virtuoso Stan Free, a top session player of the 60s with credits including work on albums by the Monkees, Arlo Guthrie, John Denver, and then ETAL, which I think means more, um, and a support musician or two working behind his Moog, as you mentioned, synthesizer. Uh, Free had cut several unsuccessful singles under his own name during the late 60s and also had been a member of a Moog synthesizer ensemble, the first Moog Quartet, organized by Gershon Kingsley. During their 1969 tour of the United States, the group had used Kingsley's dance instrumental Popcorn, which he had written and recorded in '69 on his album Music to Moog by, as an encore, and it elicited some of the most positive reactions from audiences. 2 years later, when Free issued a new recording of Popcorn, I feel like the Micro Machine guy, he used the pseudonym Hot Butter. This was a shrewd marketing ploy for not only did that name seem to fit together with the title of the piece better than Stan Free would have, but it also made it easier to remember and request the piece at record stores and on the radio. Some accounts say that Kingsley also played on that record, though he wasn't credited. Whoever was on it, the result was a top 10 hit in America and England. Albums and other singles followed, mostly of classical works and familiar pop and movie tunes transcribed for synthesizer, but Popcorn remained his sole charting 45. It was popular enough to turn up as theme music and bridge music for numerous television stations productions and is recognized today as an early forerunner of both disco music and synth pop. In 2000, the collected recordings of Hot Butter were issued on a single CD, and they also lost to Kenard in March Catrness. That's the short paragraph on iTunes. Again, not the, what is the expression? All be all.
End all be all.
End all be all. End all be all. End all be all. Anyway, and like I said, I read about a artist. I saw an artist on iTunes about 7 years ago. Then I looked and saw on Amazon that there were some CDs from that artist that weren't on iTunes. So I know they are definitely not the only resource on music. I've checked out Discogs, and I really was kind of interested in Discogs, and then I didn't lose interest. I just forgot about them. Like you said earlier, something about too much information in your head, and couldn't fit some other pieces of information in your head. I don't remember exactly what you said, but I just forgot about Discogs. I know there's another site called CD Baby, Sears. You can actually buy CDs from Sears. You can buy CDs from Barnes & Noble, which apparently Barnes & Noble have become popular lately because of TikTok people. We don't have any endorsement deals from Barnes & Noble, but yes. CD Baby, Discogs, Amazon, Sears. There's another one I'm trying to think of.
Save it for the next episode. We only have 2 minutes left, and I thought I'd give you a gift before we go. On the Deep Purple versus BTO subject, it's very close. BTO has a better hook, but Purple has the hard-hitting song. That said, if you're at an outside get-together, play BTO. There you go. You got yourself one, friend.
Okay.
Before we leave y'all for the day and for the month, I'd like to remind everyone who's listening that we appreciate your listening. We appreciate your ears. Keep listening to music, keep supporting art, drink more water, stay hydrated. When you step out of the house, please wear your mask over your nose and under your mouth. Black lives matter, queer lives matter, especially trans lives matter. Stick up for marginalized communities in the country and across the world. Stop the war and tell yourself when you look in the mirror, I love you. If you can't do that for yourself, please know that Catr and I love you in the most platonic, supportive way possible. My dear friend, Mr. Catr, Michael Friedman, please say goodbye to the people out there in the world.
Hey, goodbye to the people in the world.
We'll see y'all in April. Thank you for supporting the Catr Kenard podcast. It's always a pleasure. Godspeed.